ARIES, Evolutionary Astrological Forecast for the first week of January 2019. This is Revan, otherwise known as Cosmic Alignment. And this is a very personalized forecast specifically for your sign, which is experiencing a lot of energy in this current week. This is your season, Capricorn. This is Capricorn season. And there's something very significant about this upcoming weekend as well. So let's dive deep into the energies of this first week of January 2019 and how it relates very potently to your own energy and how, well, let's just get into it. All right, Capricorn. So as many and all astrologers will let you know, the beginning of the 2019 cycle began on Tuesday with the Sun and Saturn conjunct in Capricorn's 11th degree. What this means basically is that the beginning of the cycle is going to be colored by this theme of having to reflect back on our responsibilities, reflect back on the things that may be weighing us down if we're not dealing with it, or maybe no longer serving our highest purpose. But it definitely reflects self-contemplation, a self-reflection, a looking and taking inventory of where we're spending our energy and our time, and siphoning off what might not be serving our highest purpose. So along with this whole energy going on between Saturn and the Sun, which really is just like a coming back to the home within, to looking at our structures, our habits, the patterns that we're forming, and looking at the consequences that we're getting out of this. Saturn is known as the celestial schoolmaster, the elder, the teacher, the old seer, the old guru within, that's very slow moving, patient, and has a long-term view. So this energy merging with the heartbeat of the solar system makes this a very down to earth, grounding, centering type of energy, especially considering the fact that about 40 to 50% of the planets in the solar system will be in Capricorn too, and this new moon coming on Saturday, I believe it's the 5th, is going to be in Capricorn as well, and it's going to be a partial solar eclipse. This again just supports this idea, this archetype of Capricorn, which has to do with looking at our own patterns, looking at our own behaviors, taking inventory as to whether they're serving our highest purpose or whether we're wasting our time and our energy. Capricorn is very pragmatic, down to earth, dealing with the bottom line and with the things that actually matter. They're not about the noise and the things and the white noise and just all the surfacey things that really have no substantial significance in the grand scheme of things. So this energy is pulling us inward. So we're going to have the Sun, Saturn, Pluto, come January 4th actually as well. Mercury, the logical mind, the intellect, will be moving from the sign of Sagittarius this season that we just came out of, which had everything to do with learning new philosophies, new ideologies, gaining an expansion of our mental awareness as to how the universe works and our place in the cosmos. This expansion now, especially in relation to our intellect, to how we process information, is now moving into Capricorn, signaling, again, a more grounding. How do I now make these ideologies, these philosophies, this new gained worldview? How do I make this concrete and make this heavenly wisdom I have gained into this really practical, down to earth day-to-day reality for me is the energy of Capricorn. This, so to speak, bringing heaven on earth is the journey, the lesson of Capricorn. And something else I want to just finish off this topic with is Saturn Capricorn is about developing a persona in society and culture. A lot of us hear that Capricorn has to do with the career, with our social standing. Do you wonder why? It's because, if you consider why, you might understand what this energy is trying to prove, what it is trying to manifest and fulfill and satisfy through evolutionary necessity. And that is establishing our own truths that we have gained in the previous sign of Sagittarius. Remember, the previous sign before Capricorn is Sagittarius, where we expand our consciousness and our being, and we learned a new philosophy, a new worldview. Now in this next sign, Capricorn, now we look to establish this in our environment. And we do that in our career, in our profession, by fulfilling some type of function, some type of role within our collective society, culture. We then become a personification, an embodiment of this truth, not only within ourselves. This is my truth and this is who I am, this is my voice type of energy. That's more Aries energy. That's the I am energy. Capricorn is more about manifesting a truth, a vision, a reality, and sharing that with others and building that out in the world. Not just my own self-expression. It's something that we institutionalize, something that we share. It's some type of collective vision of taking on a new business venture and trying to manifest this reality. So this Capricorn energy, Saturn energy, restructuring of our inner foundations of what we want to do and who we want to be known as in our community, in our network, in society, in our culture, is a big question, a big emphasis, a big focus point for everybody collectively. And specifically for you, Capricorn, like, this is your season, and this is the ambition that drives you. Like, trying to, create yourself, manifest some type of authority or power, not only in the sense of having egotistical power and social standing, but in terms of being a contribution and making a difference in the world around you. And this comes through actualizing, grounding, and manifesting whatever you want to create, whether it's a business, whether it's a project, whether it's creative art for you. Like, this Capricorn energy doesn't exactly have to be just business oriented. It can be more an energy of just wanting to manifest a certain vision, a certain ideology as to how things should be. So that's that Capricorn energy with all those planets in Capricorn, the year cycle, 2019 beginning with Sun conjunct Saturn, and then this new moon / partial solar eclipse happening in the middle of Capricorn in the 15th degree with a sextile forming with Neptune. Just all of this together symbolizes and reflects that we are ready to have this expansion of consciousness, not just be a lofty ideal in our meditative thoughts, but something that we manifest out here with our brothers and sisters and out in the world, in our culture. It's time to integrate all these lofty ideas, progressive ideas, into the status quo, into the system, into the matrix. With Mars moving into Aries, we are all feeling like we're starting a new cycle. Inwardly, there's new projects being taken up. There's a new urge, impulsively, instinctively urging us to set things in motion. Mars is a 1.8 year cycle, almost 2 years. For it to be beginning exactly on the 1st of January, 2019, it's a bit too much coincidence there. This definitely seems to be a year of building new foundations and structures and habits and patterns, and having the energy to do so, a lot of energy. And all this Capricorn energy is reminding us to be cautious, reserved, patient, and to have that long-term view. And the fact that this Mars and Aries energy lasts about 2 years, a little bit under, I think is a good reminder that sometimes our projects don't manifest and come to fruition in a week, in a day, in a month, or in a couple months. Maybe sometimes they take a year or two. Not to say that this necessarily dictates or says that it's going to be like, you know, like it's just destiny, but it's just something to keep in mind. And I think something to keep in mind specifically for a Capricorn, and especially for these times of this Saturn Capricorn heavy energy. And the last thing that I might have wanted to talk to you about, Capricorn, is, you know what, actually that's it. This is a short one for you, and I feel like it's just because it's a really bottom line energy, you know, with all that Capricorn energy. Oh yeah, something to keep in mind too is come Friday, the moon comes into Capricorn until Sunday afternoon, and at that point Mercury has already transited into Capricorn, and we have Saturn, the Sun, South Node, Pluto. Basically, we're going to have 50% of the planets in Capricorn come Friday to Sunday. This is a time to sit down and get into that meditative, self-reflective state. Take inventory. It's like this, it's like there's that grounding, real wise elder energy in the cosmos, urging us to create this sustainable, solid, long-term foundation, and giving us this energy, this fuel, this tank full of fuel, creative energy to act. This Mars Aries energy is like a loaded gun, just ready to go in any direction. But this heavy Capricorn / Saturn energy is like, hang on, son, hang on, baby, hang on, son. Like, let's strategize. Let's be wise as to how we spend this energy. So this is really briefly the energy, the themes that I see, and especially pertaining to you, Capricorn. For the week, if you enjoyed this, please go ahead and like it. If you enjoy this type of content, I will be doing these weekly. I'm committing to doing this for 2019. Let's see how it goes. Up on SoundCloud and YouTube. Subscribe if you want to get notifications. I do have one of these for each sign, so if you have a friend you think they might benefit out of this, you might want to share it, but do not feel like you have to. Anyways, I hope to see you next week. These will be ideally published on Sunday. Once I get into my groove, that will be the case. This one, yeah, I came a little late, but hey, you know, first time doing this, so I got a little learning curve here. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in and for listening. Hope you have a great fucking 2019, and see you later.